I never thought I'd say this, but the first time I stepped into a mall in the Philippines, I felt like I'd entered another universe. Not a parallel one, a better one. Back home in the US, malls are kind of dying. You walk in, and it's like visiting a ghost town that used to sell jeans. Empty food courts, broken escalators, and one lone Auntie Anne's pretending everything's fine. But here, Filipino malls are alive. Like actually alive. The first thing that hit me wasn't the air conditioning. Though let me tell you, that was heavenly. It was the vibe. Malls here aren't just places to shop. They're like community centers, playgrounds, date spots, wedding venues, and therapy all in one. I remember my first time walking into SM Mall of Asia. My brain short-circuited. There were people everywhere. Families, couples, groups of teens, even lolos sitting on benches like mall philosophers. The smell of Jollibee chicken joy was in the air, and a security guard smiled at me like I was his long-lost cousin. I instantly thought, okay, this is not Walmart. In the US, when we go to malls, we go with purpose. I need socks. You go in, you get socks, you leave. Here in the Philippines, people go to the mall for life. I saw groups of students doing homework at Starbucks, entire families eating ice cream together at Dairy Queen, and couples walking hand in hand, just enjoying the aircon. It's not just shopping, it's connection. There's this unspoken rule in the US mall culture. No one talks to strangers. You mind your own business and you leave. But in the Philippines, someone will literally start chatting with you in line at Miniso, like you've been friends since kindergarten. One time, I was standing in front of a milk tea stall, completely confused because there were 30 flavors and only one me. The girl next to me leaned over and said, "Try Okinawa, it's creamy, like heaven." And just like that, we were talking about our lives while waiting for our pearls to sink. Then there's the food. Oh my goodness, the food. In America, the food court is like an afterthought. You get soggy pizza or a sad salad. But in the Philippines, the food court is an experience. You can eat everything from Korean barbecue to sisig rice bowls, halo, and chicken and asal, all within 20 steps. I swear, if you locked me in an SM or Ayala Mall for a week, I'd come out full, happy, and probably fluent in Tagalog. But the real difference hit me when I noticed how people treat malls here. They treat them with love. Families go there every weekend, not to spend necessarily, but to be together. There's something so beautiful about that. In America, we've kind of lost that. The mall used to be a social space, a place where teenagers hung out, families walked around, and people bumped into each other by accident. Now we just shop online and forget that humans exist. Here, malls bring that sense of togetherness back. I once saw a dad carrying his baby in one arm while feeding his toddler ice cream with the other, and his wife was just laughing beside him, holding all the shopping bags. It wasn't fancy or Instagram perfect. It was real. And I realized, this is what malls are supposed to feel like. Now, I'm not saying everything's perfect. Filipino malls are huge. Like, bring a GPS or you'll die of exhaustion near the Watsons section, huge. I once tried to find a restroom in Glorieta, and I swear I aged 5 years in the process. Every hallway looked the same, and I ended up in a home appliance section contemplating whether to live there permanently. A sales lady finally helped me, laughing, "Ma'am, you've been walking in circles." She pointed me the right way, but not before offering me a free taste of chicharron. Tell me that's not customer service with heart, and don't get me started on mall security. In the US, you just walk in. Here, every mall has guards checking bags, smiling, saying, "Good morning, ma'am." At first, I thought it was odd, but then I realized it's part of what makes malls feel safe. Everyone's just chill. Like, "Yes, ma'am, you can go buy your shampoo and have a beautiful day." And honestly, I appreciate that. It's nice knowing you can walk around without worrying much. Then there's Christmas season. Oh boy, you have not seen Christmas until you've seen it in a Filipino mall. In America, we start decorating around late November. In the Philippines, September. As in, literally, when the Burr months begin, malls turn into glowing wonderlands. Giant trees, music, sales, and people singing Pasko na Sinta Ko while holding iced coffee. I remember standing there, surrounded by twinkling lights, and feeling something I hadn't felt in a long time. Warmth. Not from the lights, from the people. Everyone was smiling, greeting each other, laughing. It wasn't just Christmas spirit, it was Filipino spirit. Another thing that surprised me, people here actually dress up to go to the mall. In America, we go to Target in pajamas, hair messy, no makeup, holding coffee like a zombie. But in the Philippines, malls are fashion runways. I showed up in a t-shirt and flip-flops once, and everyone around me looked like they just came from a magazine shoot. I actually went home, put on mascara, and came back. Lesson learned. There's also something special about how malls reflect the Filipino identity. You'll see high-end stores next to sari-sari stalls, luxury brands beside local entrepreneurs selling handmade products. It's a mix of everything, and that's what the Philippines is. A mix. Modern and traditional, Western and local, serious and fun, all existing happily side by side. And while people here love aircon, it's more than that. The mall is a sanctuary. In a tropical country where it's hot, rainy, and unpredictable, the mall becomes a place of comfort. It's where friends hang out without spending too much, where families relax, and where you can just walk around, people watch, and feel the pulse of daily life. In the US, malls were built to make money. In the Philippines, malls are built to make memories. I know that sounds cheesy, but it's true. One weekend, I sat on a bench in Robinson's and watched people for an hour. A group of teenagers were laughing, doing TikToks. A grandmother was feeding her grandson a siopaw. A couple was taking selfies beside a Christmas tree. And I thought, this is what community looks like. Even the mall staff add to that feeling. Every store I entered, people smiled, said, "Hi, ma'am," or "Welcome, Po," and actually seemed happy to be there. In the US, it's more like, "Hey, you find everything okay?" while they stare into the void. Here, the energy is different. It's not fake. It's warm. Of course, I had my share of hilarious mall moments. Like the time I joined a random karaoke challenge inside the mall and accidentally won a reusable bag. Or when a kid pointed at me and whispered, "Barbie," and his mom laughed, saying, "Say hi, Anak." I waved like a pageant contestant. I've never felt more welcome in my life. And yes, I've tried the cinemas here. And wow. Reclining seats, blankets, and popcorn that actually tastes good. Compare that to some US theaters where the seats squeak, and you pray no one kicks your chair. I watched a Filipino rom-com, barely understood the dialogue, but laughed anyway because everyone around me was having such a good time. You don't need to speak the language to feel the joy. The funniest part? Every Filipino mall has the same stores, yet you never get bored. SM, Ayala, Robinsons, they all have Watsons, Miniso, Bench, Pen Shop, and National Bookstore, yet people still go every weekend. It's not about buying, it's about belonging. And I realized that's why malls here never die, because they're built around people, not profits. Back in the States, the mall used to be my teenage hangout. My friends and I would spend Saturdays trying on clothes we couldn't afford, eating pretzels, and gossiping about boys. As we got older, we stopped going. Life moved online. We lost that magic. But here in the Philippines, that magic is still alive. It's loud, chaotic, warm, and kind of crazy. But in the best way. I guess that's why I fell in love with the malls here. They reminded me of what I had forgotten, that the best parts of life aren't to be found in things you buy, but in the people you meet, the laughs you share, and the little moments you don't plan. The Philippines taught me that a mall can be more than a building. It can be a place of community, connection, and comfort. A reminder that joy doesn't have to be expensive. Sometimes it is just a scoop of mango ice cream with someone you love, sitting under bright lights, with Christmas music playing in the background. So yeah, when people ask me, which is better, malls in the US or malls in the Philippines? I don't even hesitate. I smile and say, in America, malls are for shopping, but in the Philippines, malls are for living. And honestly, I think that's the most beautiful thing in the world.